Well folks, it seems like the United States is trying to win over Greenland, one dog sled race at a time. Second Lady Usha Vance recently visited the icy island, and let's just say the reception was frostier than a polar bear's nose. Joining her were National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Energy Secretary Chris Wright, because nothing screams cultural exchange like a delegation of top officials. Vance participated in various activities including, you guessed it, a dog sled race. She also explored some historical sites and learned about Greenlandic heritage. But despite the seemingly innocent agenda, Greenland's leaders weren't exactly throwing confetti. Outgoing Prime Minister Mute Burup Agedi and his likely successor Jens Frederik Nielsen called the visit provocative and a blatant power play. Ouch. Denmark, which currently holds sovereignty over Greenland, also expressed its displeasure. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen emphasized the importance of mutual respect and basically told the United States to back off. The White House, of course, maintains that the visit was all about building partnerships and respecting Greenland's self-determination, but something tells me Greenland isn't buying it. This isn't the first time the United States has cast a longing eye towards Greenland. Remember President Trump's infamous attempt to buy the island back in 2019? Yeah, that was awkward. Trump called Greenland's ownership an absolute necessity for United States national security and even went so far as to suggest using military force to acquire it. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, and the whole thing was quickly swept under the rug. But it seems the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Just last January, Donald Trump Jr. visited Greenland, a trip his father framed as paving the way for a deal that must happen. So, it seems the idea of adding Greenland to the United States portfolio is still very much alive in the Trump family. The historical context here is important. The United States has had a military presence in Greenland since World War II, with the Patuxent space base serving as a strategic asset. And let's not forget the island's vast reserves of rare earth minerals, which are essential for modern technology. You can see why Greenland might look like a juicy target to some in Washington. Greenland finds itself at a crossroads. While around 80% of Greenlanders support independence from Denmark, they are much less enthusiastic about jumping into bed with the United States. Recent elections saw the pro-business Democratic Party come out on top, advocating for a more cautious approach to independence. This puts Greenland in a delicate position. They want to chart their own course, but they're also wary of becoming a pawn in a geopolitical chess match between superpowers. The United States visit has only served to heighten these anxieties, making it clear that Greenland's desire for self-determination will be tested in the years to come. The international community is watching this situation closely. China, in particular, has been increasing its influence in the Arctic region, investing heavily in infrastructure and resource extraction. Russia, too, has its eyes on the Arctic's vast, untapped resources and strategic importance. So, why is the United States so interested in Greenland? Well, aside from the obvious economic and military advantages, it's all about geography, baby. Greenland sits on crucial North Atlantic air and sea routes, making it a prime location for projecting power in the Arctic region. As climate change melts the polar ice caps, these shipping lanes are becoming increasingly important, and the United States wants to make sure it has a seat at the table. The United States argues that its presence in Greenland is vital for national security, particularly in countering Russian and Chinese influence in the Arctic. They claim that increased cooperation with Greenland is necessary to protect shared interests and maintain stability in the region. However, critics argue that the United States is simply trying to muscle its way into a strategically important area and exploit Greenland's resources for its own benefit. Ultimately, the future of Greenland remains uncertain. Will they choose independence? Will they align themselves with the United States, China, or another global power? Or will they manage to forge their own path in an increasingly complex and interconnected world? One thing's for sure, the world will be watching closely as this icy drama continues to unfold.